Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you on my session. Yeah, like I see survived people. It's second day after. Yeah, it's the end of second day. So, but anyway, today I will present you my session about mobile application development and Drupal. I will show and describe our solution. Let me say several words about me. My name is Aliaksei Lyzo. I'm Drupal senior developer with 12 plus years of experience and mostly specialized on backend development. Several words about my company, who we are. We are Attica International. We are doing Drupal. We render full cycle development, building enterprise, fast, secure, user-friendly web application and mobile application. So, what is MAP? MAP is mobile application platform. So it's a constructor for development and launch mobile application. And of course, for sure, backend built with Drupal 10. And front end, we built like component library. It's NPM packages, then can be downloaded and installed in any native script view application. Let me say several reasons why we decide to build this platform. In the past, we have several PVAs to support. And every time we explain clients that PVA is not native. They don't support a lot of native features. We can't send notification to iPhone. We need to make some workarounds, only like emails and other stuff. PVA is fast to start fast development at begin, but it's not supported all native feature and in modern world, native feature is measure features. So if your application not support biometric login, possibly user will not use this. They will delete and forgot. Okay. What challenges we have? So, one challenge that this, at least backend, for our application should be integrated in any Drupal site. Our platform should be architecture agnostic. That means that we should not change site architecture. Why? Sometimes websites, quite old, they have a lot of legacy code, they have outdated documentation, and when you come and said you need to remove this field or reconfigure this field, nobody knows what happens, what will break. Next, standardization. Yeah, it's main approach because when we had PVA in the past, they are backend for them were built differently. And it was a little bit challenge to support and switch between these two PVA applications. That's why standardization was also our challenge. And for sure, we should use Drupal existing solution. 5 ideas for backend. We decided. So first, it should be REST endpoints. Second, for authorization, we should use WAS 2.0 protocol. Our API should support versioning because, application time to time updated. You should support all and new versions. JSON format, it's simple, text-based format. Everybody knows this format. And last, more abstract points, but very important, it's flexibility, reusability, and standardization. Let's go through every of these points. REST API, we have beautiful model in core, and we will use this. It supports a lot of features we need. It's different type of request, authentication providers, serialization formats. These two are important because we use them exactly in our solution. Permissions out of the box, but this model have one minus, not support versioning. So you only manually not very good. Okay, but let's see how we resolve this. Allows to do 0. It also exists standard model, Drupal good model, simple allows that implement this framework. Let's say it's standard protocol. It's used by a lot of applications such as Google, Facebook, and other. It's token-based, so main ideas it's exist short lifetime token, it's called access token, and long lifetime refresh token, and mechanism of let's say refresh mechanism to change refresh token on new access token, and it's secured. So we decide to use exactly this, and this model supports by REST API core model. So it's ideal solution. Versioning, I think no need a lot of describe why versioning is important. Yeah. Let's say we have 3 main approach how we can implement versioning. It's via URL part, like via v1, v2. It's via header or query parameter. In our solution, we take fast approach, and a bit later I will show why. Next point, it's JSON. So first of all, we should decide what response format should be. And we decide to use as simple as possible, let's say our custom format. It's very simple. It only has 4 cases: status, data, errors, debug. Required only status. It's 1 or 0, depend on what is status of if it's okay or not okay. If request okay, processed. In data, we have some kind of response, k response. If some kind of errors, we have errors. Debug, it's mostly for developer. We can enable, disable this element. It's simple, clear. I like this. Next point, entity JSON. My favorite, because, yeah, that's this, take this. Out of the box, REST API model expose with such format. When I first time show this format to front-end developer, they ask, what is it? Why we have this second level, value, 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 target ID? Why here value and here target ID? It can be entity ID. Why? What the logic? No logic. And how I can understand? No way. So let's read all this. And we decide that for, let's say, simple fields that have only one main field attribute, we will remove this second level. And finally, we get this. So node ID, title, field body, field category. Easy, clear. But later, we find that it's also not ideal. Why? Because for node ID, it's need. For user, it's UID. For paragraph, it's PID. And explain why. Not good, not good. It should be just ID. It should be just title, just text, and just text tags. And we now somewhere in the middle here. So we not finish this transition. Currently, our application is this approach. And okay, we have JSON. Now we should select how we can manipulate with this JSON. Yeah, how we decide what fields should be returned by our endpoint. And here we have good built-in functionality from Drupal. First of all, it's field formatters. We can create own field formatters that return exactly text variant of what we need. Next, view modes. We can create, I don't know, native view mode, put necessary fields, select our application field formatters. That's it. Do you need 2 view modes? No problem, create new mode. Everybody know how to do this. Form modes. It was a question when user register, how we can determine what field we should validate. Imagine situation you have website where exists registration, and when you plan to run mobile application, and in mobile application you only have, let's say, 2 fields, names to name. That's it. And if you try to validate entity, you will get errors because exist a lot of another required fields, but you even can't fill this in your application. That's why we decide that we will create format called something, let's native, put fields, and based exactly on that fields, we will validate our entity. It will solve our problem. And for sure, views integration, I think it's the best way to make listings of content. For views, we write own plugin based on REST API views plugin. Why we use own plugins? Out of the box, who work with views and REST API, it is required to enter URL of your endpoint. But we no need this. We need just a response. URL we will build on our own. That's why we, based on code of REST API views model, we implement our solution. And now, main question. We should combine this in something flexible, reusable, with strict rules. Because every of these points I described, it's quite flexible, but we need strict rules. And then we decide that we should have some abstraction map endpoint. That should have some kind of URL suffix. We should have another abstraction, map version. And map version can contain map endpoint. And at the end, it is REST API endpoint with URL. And now, version 1, version 2, login, logout, content. So we have versioning, we have URL standardization. So benefits, URL standardization, API, versioning, no limits. Under the hood, this is 2 things, map endpoint and map version. It's custom config entity with own form. You can create, delete, enable, disable, what you want. It's your custom code. Okay, and our endpoints reusable in any version. So you can create one endpoint and attach to all versions this reusability. And again, at the end, it's REST endpoint, and we can use serialization and OAuth. By the way, exactly serialization format, we use own denormalizers to work with user, because user comes to our endpoint as JSON, and we convert this JSON to entity user object, exactly because of serialization. But is any way to enhance such approach? Imagine situation you have 4 endpoints: register, login, get user, update user. What this endpoint should return? All of them. User data. You register, your application should know what user data. You login, application should know who login. You update user, application should know new values. That's why we should have some kind of functionality encapsulation. That's why we decide that our endpoints, map endpoints, should be like endpoints builder. And it should be like constructor with bricks map processor. And each processor perform a specific task. It can support central types of query, get, post, and it has own configuration form. And after this, what we will have much more complex schema, but idea is that map processor plus map processor, we put in map endpoint, this map endpoint we put in map version, and at the end, again, we get Drupal REST endpoints. And now we have only 3 processors. What is processors under the hood? It's our plugins, just our plugins of our type. We put them in different endpoints with different settings. Imagine a situation that registration processor have setting what format should be used to validate user data, because in version 12 of registration we have one more required field. So we take the same code, the same plugin, put in version 2, change settings, put in version 2, and at the end we again have so reusable. And this is benefits that we already have. And now we have map processor, reusability in different endpoints. Map processor are configuratable, and it's our processors, our code. So if we develop something and we realize that in future for next version we need something specific that we can implement via form configuration, we will write a form for this plugin or additional element in form for this plugin and reuse in new version the same code. And this is what exactly we built on backend. And next steps, you should write your plugins, put in endpoint in correct order, and that's it. What we have out of the box already: send and validate OTP one-time password via email or via SMS, because SMS is required because it's mobile. User registration, update password, reset, delete. Password policy integration with contrib model. Again, we plan to use as much as possible contrib solutions. That's why get access token, it's our simple auth. Social logins, we use social auth. Language restriction, our solution. Imagine a situation that on site you have 3 languages, but your application should be only on 1. You can restrict with settings, and exactly language access model we use for this. Multi-language support based on language URL prefix, like in standard Drupal website, ideal situation. Field formatters, content listing, views model integration. Favorites, for sure you should click on heart icon, it's flag model. Contact us, web form. Next, some kind of interesting things. If in Drupal we have out of the box translating system where you can translate your string. For mobile application we develop our custom solution, because it's not only translation, it's about static string and their translation, because we need to send to front end, to their component, some kind of key value, and they will replace this key, and the user sees some kind of static text. Welcome tool, when we first type register, you can, slice and see some features. Fire-based notification, of course, it's native notifications. And application maintenance mode. Currently we support that our application can be in maintenance mode. In 2 cases, first it's when site in maintenance mode. For sure we can't use mobile application at this time. And we have additional checkbox, so we can put only our application in maintenance mode and more. It's really a lot of much more smaller integration. Several slides about exactly front-end part. So for front-end part we have component library. It's npm packages, and it's built for native script view application. Itself, native script, it's cross-platform framework. That means that we have one code for both platforms, iOS and Android. Native API, with native script we can use and integrate native APIs. We make our components customizable, so to be available to reuse them and create different look and feel. And all of that, it's lead to cost effectivity, because you have one application and you have a lot of reusable components. It's like global schema. What we have, it's components, services, models. And components, it's mostly about how it looks, services, how it works. And a little bit what native feature, what these services we already implemented. It's biometric login. For sure, it's like your finger or face ID or PIN code. Notification with click action. Click action is when you click on notification, application opens on specific page. OTP after complete, I think everybody know how it works when you get SMS and it's pre-filled with specific input. Universal links and app links, it's functionality when with specific URL, browser will, let's say, open your application. So delegate this request to your application. Pull to refresh feature, when you like pull down, you update content of your application. Voice search, we have like microphone high, you can click, something set, and it will search. Add to calendar. And not native, but also very useful feature. It's Google Map, YouTube video, PDF generation, chat drawing, simple text search. Let's say it's much more faster than make a request on backend in most cases. Rate application and force update application. If you see sometimes when you try to open application, it's called you should update. You can't use this version anymore. Next interesting thing, security. Yes, it's very important thing, and we collect a lot of security features that we already know. We collect some of them from client-side, security teams when we integrate it, and I put like main of this. It's OTP validation, so to register or password reset, you should validate your account with one-time password. Again, token rotation, so access token should live not more than 5 minutes, and token rotation mechanism should be implemented. Strong password policy, again, thanks to password policy model. Auto logout, like on site, yeah. It's annoying, but it's security requirement. Flood control, for sure, we have for almost for every, let's say, processor that implement post or patch method, we have flood control to prevent any brute force, flooding, and other things. Data encryption in motion, we use HTTPS protocols, and usually all as its standard protocol that website used. We reuse encryption, the same certificate. Data encryption at rest. So if we talk about server side, usually hosting responds for this. But if we talk about native application, we encrypt all tokens and user data on our mobile. Again, security requirement. Screenshot protection. Yes, annoying, but requirements. And the password change notification, then user change password. He got SMS or email, depending on validation process, notification that your password were updated. A small demo, video demo. So it's how look, let's say, our part of admin part. This is our version. Yeah. This is our version, one, a lot of endpoints, authorization, types, status, edit. Again, second, it's disabled, it's red. Third, it's one endpoint only disabled, rest of okay. And again, it's our initialization, V1. it's our version builder. Just select what you want. Endpoints, it's easy. Save, select. You can add as you want, as many as you want, but we have agreement not more than 2 because it's hard to support. Our endpoints, all endpoints, yeah, again, listing, URL prefix that we use, methods, formats, requests, status. Yeah, all like we have in REST. So we repeat. And again, if we take our initialization, it's like some kind of settings. Yeah, you can see builder, get, post, patch, our prefix, authentication provider, accept request format, it was serialization, get our builder. You can see our processor, different forms. You can drag and drop. You can add, delete on fly. Save, export config, import config. That's it. This is how easy to add. Verifications. Currently we have 2, email, SMS. It's only plugin system, entity, config entity plus plugin systems. So we have argument resolver functionality. That means, like not ID, and at the end you have not object. That means that we have one endpoint, and depend on how many verification methods enabled, we have a lot of possibility, a lot of functionality, so reusability. Oh, since it started, yeah. Sorry, let's return, yeah, this, our methods. Video and presentations. Yeah, it's our SMS. You have like gateway, Twilio. We have Twilio out of the box. SMS text configuration, live type for OTP. Then we have flood control. Flood control based on Drupal built-in flood control. If you work, you can see this interface very similar. Next, it's our string translation. It's static text plus translation, so we have some kind of K, English. If you have several languages, it's several columns, and K. And we return this to frontend, and frontend replace this token with corresponding text. Also, we have such kind of free JSON, so you can put any JSON and put in any endpoint, and you will get on response. So it's like example, something like this. Usually, sometimes used for some kind of static values. And a small demo of Postman, again, by email, by SMS. So 2 types of validation, 1 version. Let's speed up a little bit. It's like what we have from our, let's say, demo model out of the box. And let's check our initialization response. You can see this status, data, as I described. 2 elements. And this is case. Again, setting, string, to, slider, terms. What is it? It's case of our processors. Yeah. This. So you can create it, change if need. Send code. Again, our argument resolver. We pass email. And we send email, not SMS, this is our endpoint. So it's validate this correct email and send our debug code, one-time code, and our email. Similar, the same endpoint, but already with POM. The same result, SMS, Twilio result, and text of SMS. And last, it's content. Yeah, this. So our simple responses, our formatters, just simple text, no additional case. Easy, but still machine name of fields. So that's it. And who has mobiles? You can scan, download, and see this application built with our platform, and it's integrated on existing website. It's even partly, let's say, share content with site. So on site and in mobile application, we see the same content. Account, here we use email, and on site we have email. That means that we can have cross login. If we log in or register, if we register on mobile, we can easily go to site and log in with the same account. So that's it. Any question?
Regarding natives could view, how satisfied are you with that solution?
Mm-hmm. Let's ask our main front end. Yeah.
Pretty satisfied.
Yeah.
They did have issues, but mostly with native functionality, and maybe you need to develop your own modules because their community is not so big, and all libraries is pretty outdated. So that's why we implemented our own component library as an npm package, and we install it in every application.
Okay. So I take help. Yes. So, no question. Thank you for joining us, and thank you our sponsors.
Thank you.